Hello, hello, hello. This is Gabe Cymbalistic Cynicism on the Indie Escape Network, and our guest today is Allison Pittel. How are you, Allison?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good, good. So I want to start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into acting.
Sure. So I am originally from Michigan. I've been in New York for about 10 years now. And I got into acting, gosh. I started in high school. I kind of did a lot of like musical theater in high school and plays, but I didn't end up going to school for it. I studied economics, so went a different route, and took the LSAT, which was like it's a pre-law test. So I thought I was going to go into law school, and then graduated and kind of figured I wasn't really into law. I moved to New York kind of on a whim. I got an internship out here with a nonprofit called New York Women in Film and Television, and it was unpaid. I told my parents it was paid, but it was an unpaid internship. And I fell in love with entertainment. I got a production assistant job a few months in, so started working on sets, student films, reality television shows, different things like that, and eventually found myself on the other side of the camera. I started working with, I guess my sort of breakout role was Screamboat. So found Fuzz on the Lens, who produced that. I think it was 2020. They had an open call for a Night of the Living Dead sort of reboot. And I auditioned for that and met the Fuzz guys. And yeah, I did several projects with them before Screamboat. So yeah, that's sort of the long and the short of it.
Yeah, I've been bugging Marcus about that Night of the Living Dead reboot for a while, but now we don't know what's happening because the rights stuff. So
Yeah, I mean,
I would love to see it happen.
we'll see. But it's one of those things where silver lining, a lot of
Yeah.
other great projects that they did, that
hmm
you never know what's going to pop off. And
hmm
sometimes things just don't work out. And that's okay. That's the way the industry goes. But yeah, I do think Marcus will get his, will get a great project going. I just don't know if it's going to be Night of the Living Dead.
So wait, so you worked on that before Screamboat and Stream?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
nice. Because I know you played in Screamboat, you were the final girl, and spoilers to anyone who hasn't seen it, and Scream Queen, and then in you had a small role in Stream, but with some big names. I mean, did you actually film
Mhm.
with Tim Curry and Bill Moseley, or was it shot separately? And
I
Terry
did.
Kaiser.
So, am I allowed to say what?
Oh, okay,
So I
yeah,
filmed it. I did definitely film with Bill Moseley, definitely Kaiser. Um, Curry is he definitely lent his talents to the film. He was not just because of his health right now. He
condition.
wasn't able to join us on set, but he definitely was part of the film.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so with him it was a little challenging, but the other two definitely worked with them. They're phenomenal, so
Yeah.
nice, so talented, and Terry Kaiser, amazing performance in the electric chair. He just was really going all out, and it was really a privilege to be working with those guys.
Well, Bill is heart royalty, and Terry Kaiser is just cinematic royalty. And I've met Bill a few times. So Terry from a distance, never met him, never met Tim, but to be in a scene with all of them is just must be an honor.
It was.
And spoilers to anybody who hasn't seen Stream, um, we don't see what happens to your character. So there hopefully is a chance. Hopefully, because there is a word of Stream two. So I hopefully will get to see you back. I hope.
Same.
You don't
I'm
know,
not
but you
sure.
can't say even if you did. Yeah, no, I know.
I,
I know.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't think even if it's not that I can't say or can say. It's just I actually have no idea
Right.
what's going on with Stream 2. But
Yeah.
if I think it'll be great. I've heard the script is awesome. There's a lot of cool people attached to it. Yeah, it'd be awesome to get those guys back, finish what they started. So yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely left. They didn't finish the old kill. That yeah, it does just kind of leave on a cliffhanger. So
Not just that, they teased something really massive. Like not just, well, spoilers to anybody who hasn't seen Scream, but I'm gonna bring up the poster. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. A lot of horror icons in this, from a lot of different horror movies from the 80s, probably even before, maybe even before on. Um, and they tease something really widely, like epic, potentially, like that. Like I had to rewatch the film to remind myself about it. So it got me more hyped for Stream 2 than I was when I first watched it in theaters. So yeah.
yeah, Stream is fun. They did a really. I know it was a laborious process for them because of COVID.
Hmm.
Um, they shot it during. I think it took them like 4 years ultimately.
Hmm.
I came in at the very end, so it was sort of coming out of that whole social distancing and masking.
Yeah.
But they were really, it was difficult for them. I mean, but it came out so well. It's such a great plot. Obviously, tons of cameos from huge actors and huge horror icons, but really great. I mean, directing, awesome plot, super fun, funny as well. I think.
Yeah, and including Tony Todd, may he rest in peace. Who
Yeah,
and
he's
I
lovely in it.
Yeah, and I also Michael or Marcus. I think Michael said they would like to do a tribute to him in a second film, since we can't, you can't recast Candyman, Tony Todd, you know,
No, he's irreplaceable for sure.
irreplaceable. Yeah. I actually wanted to ask you. You mentioned you worked in law. Have you ever implemented any of your, or not worked in law? You studied law. Sorry, my apologies.
No,
Were
you're
you
good.
ever able to contribute any of your, what you learned in school from that field to anything in film, like, or anything like discussions on sets? Did it benefit you or people you work with at any point?
That's a really good question. I've never been asked that. I would say legally, no. I'm not, I
Okay.
have no legal, any kind of legal training. Um,
Mhm.
I guess there's an element of, yeah. So I work in production as well. So I do a lot of work behind the camera. That's
Mhm.
very logistics heavy. Perhaps with that, absolutely. I mean, I did study kind of I went more of a business route in school, and I think that, yeah, that helps with that. With the acting, I don't know. I'm glad I didn't go, I'm glad I didn't study theater or acting. I almost did. And I just kind of chickened out. I really chickened out, is what really happened. But I think sometimes you have to go so far the other way to realize what you are supposed
One.
to do. So, yeah, exactly. So I think I love studying everything. I love history. A lot of history classes, a lot of econ classes. I really enjoyed them. I was really not great at especially economics, but it was a chance to just say, okay, like what else is there? And I think with acting and a lot of art forms, having different perspectives, having other things, just ways that your brain is wired, it helps because acting is supposed to be about lived experiences and coming at things from a different perspective. And if you're learning as much as you can and following different curiosities from your own personal drive, then it helps your art form in a roundabout way. So yeah, I think everything you do in life has a way of reflecting in your art for sure.
Well, I definitely, I watched your film. Let me get back to that. But yeah, I mean, if somebody were to Google you on Google, unintended, um, you come up as a producer, not an actress. which I know
I
you as an
volunteer
actress, but
myself,
you,
yeah.
like you said, you are a producer. You work behind the camera.
Yeah, I mean, I at the end, I think if it was like a pebble for every job, there'd be more pebbles in the producing bucket.
Okay.
Um, for sure. I started in production, and that's what I do. I do a lot of that. I actually produce a lot of documentaries and
Hmm.
unscripted stuff. So it's a different world, but it is extremely interesting to me as well. So yeah, I definitely would say I do both. Hopefully, I
Okay.
would say that. But yeah, producing for
So you
sure.
do. Yeah. Yeah. And you actually hold on. Here, we go message. Comment from Ken.
Thank you,
More
Ken.
hats to you. Yeah. More hats. The more hats you wear, better off you'll be in the industry. He's right.
I
He's
agree.
right. You know, just to reflect on what you said and what Ken said, I grew up on film since I was 5, and I want to work in film my entire life, but I was never good at act. I could never. I act out. I don't act. You know, but I always knew I want to do, and I've gotten more hands and more pies in the industry than I, in the field than a lot of people do. Like I've met directors who don't have as many skills in different areas as I do. You know, so
Sure,
it's good to
absolutely.
have skills in a number of areas. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a more sophisticated word, but I keep on saying areas. Um,
Areas associated as a guest, Gabe.
I
First
know,
of
I
all,
know.
you can act. You can act. I know you can
I
act.
know.
I
I,
can
I
tell.
can't. I can't act. I say that joke as a joke. I did act a couple of times. I have some roles coming up once I'm released. So I'm looking. I hopefully we get to act together, or I get to work on a film with you, even whether I act or or and you produce, or vice versa, because you never know. You never know.
You
I
never
have a lot
know.
of, we and you got to work with some pretty big names in your first big productions, which is pretty awesome. Which
Yeah, I got
is
super lucky. I really
yeah.
did. I can't speak more. I love the Fuzz on the Lens guys. I mean, I absolutely adore them. It's so rare to find a group of people like that in this
Yeah.
industry who are so loyal and they have your back and they support you and they champion you. And I mean, I really am very lucky to have met them when I did. I've done 5 or 6 things with them. I think at this point,
Really?
they really, I mean, yeah. So a lot of it is in development or it's
Okay.
pre-pro, or, proof of concepts, but they find people that they like to work with and they keep showing up for them. And yeah, it was a great experience. My first thing with them was the Night of Living Dead proof of concept. And I was really green. I don't even know if I was SAG yet. I might have just gotten my card, but
Mhm.
I was on set and I was the greenest one by a lot.
What do you mean by green, by the way?
Green,
Yeah.
like fresh, like didn't know what I was
Oh,
doing, like very new, had taken classes, stuff like that, but hadn't really worked on a professional set. And I was working with the original cast of Day of the Dead,
yeah.
and among
My
other
favorite
people.
zombie movie of all time, by the way.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
iconic.
Yeah.
Terry Alexander is like he's like one of my closest friends at this point. We've gotten really close over the
I
years,
love him.
but
I
it
love.
was really, really, yeah. I mean, yeah, you know him. He's amazing, but that was really eye-opening to just feel a part of something that you're like, it was so exciting. I was so nervous. And I remember like one of the scenes I had to do was like storm in and carry like I guess it was a piece of wood. It was a piece of wood over my head and be like, oh,
Okay.
the zombies are coming or whatever the line is. And it like looked so stupid and I couldn't do it. It looked just horrible. And they were like kind of like, it was the first thing that we shot for that piece. And I was like, oh my God, I'm making a fool of myself in front of all these really cool actors. And the next day I was like, I gotta just show up and be like on top of my shit. So it was humbling for sure. But it was a great first experience, and everyone was so warm and supportive. And then yeah, we've done a few things. There is something that we're working on with Marcus, who directed the Night reboot. He's working on a Skin Monster movie. So we did shoot.
You get me very excited. You get me very excited.
That's fun. And that's with Damon Maffei as well. So that's something that we're excited to get on the rails. So yeah, we've done a lot together, and it's just great to like have a shorthand with people. The Fuzz guys have a language amongst themselves that just people that work together for over the course of many years have, and it's fun to be around. Yeah.
Well, I want to bring up when you were announced to be in Screamboat. This was the cover article, which you're up there with some pretty big icons from different, and as well as Jesse Coe from Cobra Kai, Charles Edwin Powell, who we both know from Exorcist 3, David Howard Thornton, of course, and what's his name from Day of the Dead, who I absolutely love. He's great. I met him last April.
Oh yeah, he's a doll.
Yeah. And I actually have a question from our friend Raven. She says, late to the party, what kind of docs are you interested in, Allison? And welcome to the network.
Thank you. I am really fortunate to right now be working with Loki Films, Loki. They've done some really beautiful films in the past. One of them was called Jesus Camp, which I actually knew about before I started working with them. If you haven't seen, I think it came out 20 years ago. This was their 20th anniversary. It was an Oscar-nominated film, and it was one of those docs that really just like took my breath away when I saw it. It's really run and gun. It's not very like aesthetically polished, but it adds to its charm, and it's sort of about just a very specific way of living in America. That was great. I watched this year, which didn't win the Oscar. I was a little bummed. The Perfect Neighbor. I believe it's on Netflix. Check it out. It's another look into sort of what is part of the fabric of America kind of documentary. So it's about stand your ground laws in Florida. But those are, I guess, the kind of docs I'm interested in, is these slices of life types of things that you kind of wouldn't notice, but is very much a part of our culture. Yeah, I mean, any kind of doc, really. I'm getting more into them as I get older, but those are two off the bat that I recommend if you haven't seen to check them out. But yeah, true crime is also very popular.
When you say interested in, do you mean that you worked on, or that you would want to work on, or that you like to watch, or both?
I haven't worked on those. I would work on something like for sure. I like them. Yeah, those are the types of documentaries I like to watch. I'm not as big of a like big true crime person with like big murder cases. There's lots of docs about high profile cases out there, or like very famous murders or whatever. Those are cool, but I guess for me, what makes a doc interesting is like watching something that feels familiar to you, but also you didn't know was right next door to you, if that makes sense. Like these kind of looking into parts of society that's ordinary, but also very powerful and important to certain groups of people. So those are the kind of like docs that I really enjoy.
Well, then I'm gonna have to send you a couple of links, because I worked on a horror documentary about filmmakers and actors with disabilities, as well as a true crime short film, both of which I was connected on and worked on because of this network that I'm interviewing on now. I met the director who hired me for those jobs on this network. So
wow, oh cool, yeah. So please send them my way.
Yeah,
I'd love to.
And just on the note that you said I can't act, I play a cop in the true crime thriller, and let me just say that we got the cop. We were very low budget. Got the cop outfits at Goodwill, so I looked like a stripogram cop. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay, we'll take it.
But I still looked serious, so it worked out. But it was fun.
I'd love to see that, Gabe.
Yeah. Hold on a second. John Wayne Caldwell says, as you are working in horror as a final girl, do you have a favorite final girl besides yourself, of course?
Ooh, a favorite final girl. I couldn't pick myself. Come on.
No, right. But I mean, yeah.
Let's see. A favorite final girl. That's tough. I have to go with. She's not a final girl. I mean, I think she's a final girl. She's a final girl in my heart. But she's now like a Marvel superstar. I love Florence Pugh. When I saw Midsommar, that first scene. I mean, I had never seen her work before. I know she had done a few things prior, but that first scene in Midsommar where she is just absolutely just breaks down and so emotional. I was like, who the fuck is that girl? Like, she took my breath away. I think she's such a beautiful performer. I know she doesn't do a lot of horror now, but Midsommar and her in that role, and that being her breakout role, with that like very last, shot of her with the flower crown, and she's got this like
the slow smile.
That's creepy smile. It gave me chills, and I left the theater just obsessed with her. And I rarely feel this way about movies like to that level, but that was such a after Hereditary. Okay, I don't know if we're gonna count this, but I'm gonna go to Toni Collette in Hereditary.
Hereditary.
She's not a final girl per se, not in a traditional way, but I find she's like one of the best actresses of her generation, like living actresses right now. She's friggin' amazing, and her monologue, the face on your face monologue. Oh my god!
Well, you know about the one at the dinner table in Hereditary?
Yes, the face on your face monologue. It's classic. Yeah, the dinner table monologue.
Yeah. That movie, Hereditary, scarred me for life. I loved Florence. Yeah, I loved Florence's performance in Midsommar, but I did not like the film itself. But I thought her performance was absolutely astounding and phenomenal. Like, she was, and she got so far after that role, which I'm so happy for her. Including like I loved. She was great in Oppenheimer. She's in Marvel. It's amazing. It truly is.
Yeah, she's had a great career. I'm going to give you one more. Another left fielder. Not a classic final girl, but a final girl in my heart. Kathy Bates, Misery. Another, love Misery, love that role. She also took my breath away. And I love seeing women women that are not necessarily these young women running around screaming. She's a evil person. She does, I don't think she's a final girl again in the classic movie, but
I hear what you're saying. But
she's
I
phenomenal.
think you would like, if you like Misery, you should definitely watch. And are you a Stephen King fan as well?
100% big Stephen King fan.
Have you ever watched Castle Rock on Hulu FX?
I haven't seen it, no.
So the second season, okay, let me explain, because if you love Kathy Bates in Misery, the whole second season revolves around her character, and she's played by Lizzie Kaplan. It's her backstory, but it ties into Salem's Lot and all these other elements of like the it's like Castle Rock combines different stories of Stephen King in different ways that nobody thought possible. And there's only 2 seasons, but you're gonna love the second season because it's basically what's her name? Annie Wilkes? No, am I getting the name right?
I don't know. I'm so bad with that.
No, Kathy Bates' character in Misery. I forgot the name.
Oh yeah, I don't remember her name in that movie.
So basically, Lizzie Kaplan plays a young her in. It's basically a setup for Misery in the season 2 of Castle Rock. So you would appreciate it. you would definitely appreciate it.
I would appreciate that.
Because if you like her as a final girl, your heart breaks for her character because you learn about her past and why she's so broken.
A little backstory. I love that.
Well,
yeah, those. I mean, they're not classic final girls, I know, but they are like women I look
Raven
up to.
says Annie Wilkes.
Yeah. Annie Wilkes. Thank you, Raven.
Yeah.
I gotta go Lauren Levera too. Contemporaneous.
Yes, of course.
You know, she's phenomenal. I love her. Come on. I mean, she's
Terrifier 3 was definitely a statement on mental health and trauma.
Yeah, it was.
And she epitomized that.
She really did. And I read that she really, really researched what that means to go through, you know, intense trauma. I also appreciated that Damien had like had scars.
Yeah.
I hadn't like seen that in other franchises in the same way. Like, if you're getting hit by a whip or whatever, you know, in the second one, it's gonna leave marks. And that's very real and human. And that was really cool that Damien incorporated the physical and the emotional scars into the third. And she really handled that super, super, super well. Yeah, she's great.
You know, it's interesting. You're talking about Damien. I sent this to a few people in the Terrifier crew that they could tune in, and some other filmmakers. I talked to Damien on Messenger and Instagram, but I don't have his direct contact. So I will send this to him so he could hear what you say about him, because I feel like he'd love to hear that. And I'll send it to David. David knows me too. Ken says his favorite is Danielle Harris, which you were in the same film with in Stream.
Yes.
And Raven says, love the idea about showing slices of life, that's both recognizable and feeling like that it could happen next door.
Thank you, Raven. Yeah, thank you.
I actually wanted to ask you, because I see you were at San Diego Comic-Con.
I was, yes.
What movie were you guys promoting there when you were there?
We were promoting Screamboat, sort of. So Screamboat had already been out, I think, at that point, but it was a panel on public domain films. I don't think it was specifically just horror, but we were talking about public domain because now that's become a part of the genre within horror, which has been really interesting to see since the Poonaverse kind of came about, Blood and Honey. So we were talking about that, and you know, Screamboat is.
I love play on words so much.
So that we were talking. I can't remember exactly. There was a couple of the Popeyes guys were there. One of the Popeye, the Slayer Man, I think.
The Slayer Man,
there was two that came out that year, and it was a Slayer Man that was at that panel. It was a fun one. It was my first time at that con. Huge con, crazy.
I've never been there, but I've been to New York a number of times. But I've never been to San Diego. Yeah.
How's the New York one?
It's great. I've been going on and off every year, if not every other year since 2014. I missed a few years in between, but I've gone most of the years in the last 12 years, and I love it. But I would love to go to San Diego, but I know that's like massively larger, and New York Comic Con is already insanely big. So, and just the timing. Yeah.
That one was, I was at the time living in LA, and I had to fly to New York, I think that night. So I took the train. It was crazy. I took the train in. I paid off a guy to hold my suitcases, like at a random smoke shop. And then I was like, I'll just do my makeup in the bathroom. I couldn't get in a bathroom. It was so busy that there was no
lines to get into the bathroom.
In the bathroom. And then it was like, I'm not going to do my makeup here when the people are trying to wash their hands. So
that happens at all conventions, not just the convention centers, at the hotels, like the conventions that where you and I met at a convention, but but there are some conventions where on Saturday there's a line to get into the bathroom, and it's crazy. So it's better like when it's at a hotel where you can actually just go up to your room and use the bathroom, which is what I prefer to do when I'm at a con in a hotel.
Well, it was an excuse to get a drink at the restaurant
Yeah.
down the street. Just had to do my makeup. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a wild con for sure. Awesome though. If you ever have a chance to go, it's cool. There's a lot of different genres that show up and a lot of different fandoms within each genre, tons of just all types of celebrities and directors. It's a really cool experience.
Yeah. So sometimes you're just walking around and you bump into them on the floor. That's happened to me in New York Comic Con. I've just randomly bumped into actors I didn't even know were attending, and I was a big fan of for years. And they called me out, so because of the clothing I was wearing, because it was something from something they were in. So that kind of stuff is fun. It's but you haven't been to some of the really big ones. I mean, outside of San Diego Comic Con, in terms of the horror cons, you've been to Blood and Ink, and you've been to Long Island Horror Con, but something. Hopefully, one day you'll come to Monster Mania or Chiller or Texas Frightmare. Those are the big horror cons.
Oh yeah, I went to Monster Mania.
You did.
Last year.
Oh, we missed each other.
We did miss each. We did a little panel there.
Okay. It might have been a different one that I wasn't at. Which one was it? Do you remember where it was?
It was the LA one.
The LA?
Yeah, I think that was Monster Mania. The one in I think it's Monster Mania in LA. I could be wrong.
Maybe you're thinking of Mad Monster Party.
It was a very big con. It felt big to me.
So I think it might have been Mad Monster Party because Monster Mania is on the East Coast.
Oh, okay. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, there's a lot of cool monsters.
Yeah.
And it was huge.
Cool. Yeah.
There was makeup. People doing people's makeup like in real time on the floor. Yeah. That was awesome. But yeah, that was probably the biggest one. I haven't done like Chiller or any of those. No. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I should bring up to your team and the Fuzz and Lens guys and Damien and David that we should make a Terrifier cruise or a Fuzz on the Lens Terrifier cruise. And because they've done Saw cruises, they've done Walking Dead cruises, they've done Jay and Silent Bob cruises. They definitely do one of those cruises for your movies, their movies.
It's like a cruise, you go on the water?
Yeah, an actual cruise. I've been on those before. Yeah.
I've never heard of that. So what is that?
So the Saw cruise was
specific.
Okay, so the Saw cruise was back in 2012. It was like a small group with the celebrities and the fans, and then there's hold on a second, just give me 1 second. There's a small group of celebrities and the fans, and the rest of the cruise. But most of the themed cruises are like the Walking Dead cruises. The whole cruise is for the celebrities and the fans. So there's always activities going on, entertainment. There's always games hosted by the actors. We go to either the Bahamas or Nova Scotia, and they have activities and parties and what's silent? What was that thing where the silent music parties where you?
Oh yeah, like the silent DJ.
Silent DJ, yeah, something like that. They have on the Walking Dead cruise. There was always something going on. There was a pool party where the diving was hosted by the Walking Dead actors, and then there's panels, and it was just great. It was great. The Saw one was smaller, but it was still a lot of fun, and that was more personal because you're not competing with 2,000 fans to see the actors. You're competing with 50 people to see the actors. You know what I mean? But Terrifier has grown, and Fuzz and Lens guys have grown such a large following in the last few years. I mean, I knew Michael and Marcus since before Terrifier, and I've known them for years, and now they've become so big because of it, and I'm very happy for them,
Yeah, it is cool to see that. When that happens, I didn't know them before Terrifier. I'd met them. They had already shot Terrifier 1. They were shooting Terrifier 2, and that was cool to see. Just watching it hit the theaters, and then all of a sudden it just kept getting extended in theaters, and then the numbers were getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The letterbox, it was just it was like, holy shit, that's so cool to see, because it was, yeah, I mean, Terrifier was already big, but seeing that go from what it was, the 2016, to when was it, 2022, when Terrifier 2, that was really, really cool. And then to see Terrifier 3 just go even mega big. And I remember, like, I went to see a movie in a theater at the Grove in LA, and they were advertising for 2 movies, like, in the lobby. It was Wicked and Terrifier. That was it. It was what they had on their, like, marquee. It was, like, so amazing to just see, like, how successful it was emotional to me to see that. And we sat down, I think it was for The Substance, and they were doing the previews, and the Terrifier preview comes up, and I was like, oh my God.
Well, they should have done a Wicked Fire or Wicca Fire. I don't know. I get sorry.
Wicked Fire.
That was a bad attempt at a play of words. But yeah, it's crazy seeing your friend's film being one of the most successful films at the box office. You know,
it was so cool. It's unreal, that feeling of, like, these people are so deserving and so hardworking, and these are your buddies, and you're like, fuck yeah, like, they're beating out Joker, for God's sakes. I mean, that was an amazing accomplishment, and doing it with a more conservative budget than these massive films. I mean,
and also Terrifier 2 beat out, like, what was it, an $80 million film, Amsterdam, with an all-star cast. That also
never heard of it. Never heard of Amsterdam.
I loved it, but it made, like, I don't know, maybe $8 million, and Terrifier 2 made, like, over 10. So it was,
it's cool to see indie films do that.
Yeah.
It's, at the end of the day, that's what I think, it's showing the world that people do pay attention to storytelling in all its forms, and they want to see original things, and they want to see something different, and the machine isn't really working anymore. Like, we want new, exciting filmmakers and ideas. So that was, the money proved, like, you know, the numbers proved that that's what the audiences wanted, and they did it with very little market to mine. I mean, I'm not on the inside, but
yeah,
they didn't have the same budget as Marvel. They're not billboards all over town, or, like, you know, pushing Instagram.
But yeah, people like Pete Davidson wearing Terrifier shirts to basketball games on TV.
Exactly. It's cool. It's grassroots marketing. It's very powerful. So I could not be more excited and proud, and see what they have in store for them next.
I do have a question from my co-host John Wayne Cowell. What is your favorite film of all time? And if you can only watch one movie forever, what would it be? Also, MegaCon Orlando is happening. Any chance if you visit Orlando?
I was supposed to go to MegaCon last year.
Really?
Actually, they showed Screamboat there, and I'm so bummed I missed. I ended up booking a shoot, but it looked friggin' amazing. So MegaCon's definitely on my list of cons
nice.
to see, and I like Orlando too, so I love to go to Orlando for MegaCon. Favorite film of all time? Oh God, okay, that I usually, so I'm a big Jaws fan, and I'm just gonna, sorry, I didn't mean to, because I saw something online where it showed your interview, and it said an interview with Allison Pittel, and there was a Jaws poster behind you. I'm like, she's not old enough to have been in Jaws. So how is that? And I realized now I put two and two together. I had to go with Jaws because it's the movie that I saw. It's probably one of the first horror movies I saw. I grew up, so my birthday's November 1st, and my parents said she's gonna like Halloween, obviously, because she's born November 1st. So every year I had a Halloween birthday, and my parents wouldn't let us watch anything. This is a totally different story, so sorry. It's totally dovetailing. They wouldn't let us watch
it. It's fine.
Yeah, we're warming up here. They only let us watch black and white films, horror films, when we were kids, because that rating scale has changed. So like Psycho's rated R because you see her belly button in it. And that was nudity for the time. So we grew up on like the old black and white Hitchcock films, and Psycho and all. And Jaws was like, I think the first like horror movie I saw that was color. So I was struck by how well performed it was, well written it was, how beautifully it was shot, and it just sort of it kind of inspired me to want to pursue acting because of how amazing the lead men were in that film. And it was a testament to how horror can be. Yes, Jerry, exactly. It's a testament to how horror can be driven by emotion, driven by character, driven by conflict, and it can be a very high art form. You know, I think I mean, the best stuff is horror. I mean, and it's just amazing to see, even the last couple of years, how horror's become this. You know, people like Sinners was the biggest movie last year, and you had like the Substance and like all these people getting finally the recognition that they deserve for putting themselves through the ringer for these films. And it's I mean, but Jaws was, for me, was like, wow, it's not only so scary, but there's so many funny lines in that movie too.
But it's like, also scary because it's realistic in a sense, like a shark and it actually happens. It features some of that stuff, and
I mean, it was based off a true story of a bull shark. Don't quote me on this. This is the part of the law.
Okay, I'm not quoting you.
Law training that I'm saying that this is what helps me. Is me saying don't quote me on this. I believe it was a book. It was a best-selling book based on a bull shark, and bull sharks are especially scary because they're freshwater and saltwater sharks. So it was actually a river attack, I believe. So it's based on a real event. So yeah, to your point, super realistic.
John Wayne says Robert Shaw's Indianapolis speech is the best thrill monologue of all time. Great choice.
100%.
Nice.
It is such a great speech.
My parents actually saw the play in Toronto that Robert Shaw, there's a play, and they actually, the son of Shaw plays his father's role, and he looks exactly like him.
Oh, wow. Is it The Shark is Broken, that one?
I'm not sure. It's funny too, but my parents said it was amazing because he looked just like his father from the movie.
Oh, that's
but
cool.
I don't know if it's still going. It was definitely a big hit in Toronto. Also, I don't know if you've ever seen Jaws on the water, because they do that thing where they bring you to a lake or an ocean or a seaside area, and they put like lifesavers, and you sit in these giant inflatable lifesavers, and like you watch the movie on the water like a drive-in, but instead of a drive-in, it's on the water, which makes it even like scarier. Wow. So I feel like you would.
Is it 4D?
I don't know. I don't know. They've been doing it for years.
You've been doing it for years?
They've been doing it for years. John Wayne says, not a true story, but like Johnson Lamb's a compilation of true life events.
Yes. The shark is not working. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Silence of the Lambs, right? Wasn't that based on, who is that serial killer it was based on? Leatherface, right?
Ed Gein.
Yes.
Yeah. So
also a great movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big Hannibal. I don't know if you ever watched the show, but if you like the movies, the show is my number one TV show of all time. I never suspected to love the Hannibal show as much as I do. Like I can eat anything while watching that show, because like he makes the people look so delicious, and the crime scenes even they're not really people, it's meat. But like
I'm sure it's not really people.
Crime scenes are a work of art. The crime scenes are a work of art.
Okay.
So it's like that show is. I'll send you the trailer for that show if you haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Because that show is a masterpiece. It's one of the most. It was been called one of the most beautifully directed and shot shows ever to air on television. Because like people didn't realize how much they would love it compared to the films. So I have to send you. 2013. It was 3 seasons. 2013 to 2015. They may or may not bring it back, but Mads Mikkelsen said he could return to TV unless it was for Hannibal. And Brian Fuller is the showrunner, and I love Brian Fuller. He did Pushing Daisies. He's done a lot of stuff, but he's great.
I like
I
Mads
actually want. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Oh yeah, Mads Mikkelsen is great. But I actually
Great.
wanted to. I actually like this poster of Screamboat better because it leaves more to the imagination of what Steamboat Willie looks like. That's why I preferred to show this one.
Yeah. It was also the first iteration of the poster. So I think it, people, that's what I think of when, there's something about it being the first one. Yeah, he's cute in that, right? He doesn't look anything like that in film. It doesn't do that.
He doesn't, but I love his little laugh and like how he's like you literally stomp on him, but nobody gets the upper hand on him, like, except like you and maybe a couple of other people. But like even then, he still gets the upper hand.
Still gets the upper hand.
Or upper glove.
Maybe he does.
Upper
Maybe
glove.
He doesn't.
Yeah. I actually want to show the trailer for Screamboat while we're here, if that's okay with you.
Okay, sure.
And you're featured prominently in it because you're really the star of the movie, other than Steamboat Willie. So,
Steamboat
which is
Willie
another
is-
great thing. The fact that they put you as like the final girl and the star of the movie, like for your first big, not your first big role with that movie with them, but your first big role with them, like you're the star of the movie, which is great. Wow.
It was very I was very humbled to be asked to play that. So
Let me just make sure I have the right clip because it's labeled video playback, and I just want to make sure it is that indeed. Yes. Okay, so I'm playing it right now. Okay, here we go. This is the trailer for Screamboat.
Welcome aboard the Staten Island Ferry.
This boat is cursed. We're all going to die.
You said that last week and the week before.
I heard stories about a monster that lurked in the underbelly of the ferry. Steamboat Willie.
That's gonna make one fucked up cartoon someday.
Come quick! Everything is not cool. We have a huge rodent problem.
What the fuck are you?
It was like a demonic rodent with shorts and a hat. Maybe it wants some cheese.
I said we forced his ass overboard.
Our world is fucked. But Willie's world? It's the happiest place on earth.
It is a small world after all.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody.
There we go. Oh, I'm trying to unmute your mic and it's not letting me. Hold on a second.
how was that?
There you got it. Yeah, you
Yep.
got it. For some reason, no, sorry. So for the my favorite part of Screamboat was the historical element tying into the whole Mickey Walt Disney thing, which was a very
You're
clever
not the
little
first
tie-in.
You're not the first to say that. A lot of people really liked that part of the film.
Yeah, I think that added a lot to it.
It was fun. It's funny too. They did a good job with that.
Now, I heard they filmed it on the actual. It wasn't a set. It was an actual Long Island ferry. They filmed it on. Staten Island ferry. Sorry, Staten Island ferry.
It was a decommissioned Staten Island ferry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was mostly shot on a real ferry.
Nice.
90%
That's
of it, I
really
think.
cool.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
it was fun. Yeah, we
Because
loved
like
it. We had a great time.
I'm like, wait a minute, did I go on that exact one? Because I just went like around the same time they filmed it. I was on one of the Staten Island ferries, so I'm trying to pinpoint, was I on that one? Was I in a different one? Whatever. Like that would have been cool. That like I basically traveled to Staten Island on a film set, moving film set.
You can film on the ones that are running, apparently.
Yeah.
But you have to get off at the end of each leg of the journey. So you're welcome to film on it.
It's
You
just
just
like-
have to move all your gear, everything.
It's not
off.
doable
So
for a
we-
big production.
doable. Yeah, we did a decommissioned one that isn't running anymore, but some of the shots were filmed on one that's actually moving.
Mhm.
there's a scene between Jesse and myself that is, we're looking out at the water and talking, and that was done with, you know, a real ferry.
Yeah.
The reversal shot of that. So some of it was, and I run up to the Staten Island Ferry station or whatever, or concourse, and that's the real one. So there's a little bit of slicing some real elements of the ferry into it as well.
I hear that. Yeah, it's I recognize a lot of scenes like scenery from it, which was cool. But that it's just so interesting that they got to do it on a decommissioned Staten Island ferry and on a regular Staten Island ferry. That must have been it must have been cold for you guys after a while. When did you film? In the summer, or even in the summer it would get cold.
April, May. So it was it was definitely cold at points for sure, because we shot overnights mainly. So we'd start at like 8 or 9 at night and wrap out at like 5 or 6 in the morning. So yeah, it was chilly. The exterior stuff for sure, but you're having so much fun, you forget.
No, 100%. Like when I forget how cold or hot it is when I'm having fun. Like when I'm working on a set in the hot sun, when I'm having enough fun, I forget that I'm dehydrated. 100%.
Yeah, that's real for sure.
I say that as a joke, but it's true. Oh,
it is.
Yeah. Screamboat 2, Nothing Stays Dead. I feel like they're gonna have to have some Disney themed semicolon or whatever colon name there, like something very punny with Minnie or Mickey and stuff like that. I
have no idea what's in store. I've heard some fun things about it from Stephen Lamorte, but none of us have I mean, maybe some of us. I personally haven't read the script yet, but I have heard that there's a lot of, like, it's even more Disney puns.
Oh God, I'm gonna love it. You have to understand, David loves puns, David Howard Thornton, and he said on our network, I think once, that I'm the only person that could outpun him. So
you probably could outpun everyone, Gabe.
Yeah, he knows. He knows. He's the one who said it, and like he follows me religiously on social media. But like another comment from John Wayne: as the final girl of Screamboat, doesn't mean you will finally be killed by Minnie first in the next one, a la Friday the 13th.
I like that idea. I don't know, but I think it's great. I think that would be my favorite version of that is that version.
Yeah, you don't think you want to go the boats?
Like the rescue boat sinks.
It's interesting because that was something in Friday the 13th Part 1 and 2, that the final girl gets killed in the beginning of the next movie. And it's funny because I actually have the graphic novel for the second Freddy vs. Jason, which never got made into a movie, unfortunately. And in the graphic novel, Monica Keena's character, Laurie Campbell, gets killed off in the first, 10 minutes of the film by Jason, her and her boyfriend. So basically, they're the heroes and the survivors of the first movie. They get killed off the first 10 minutes of the next movie. You know, so you get new heroes, new final girls, new final characters.
I mean, Scream did something similar. I think that's, the concept behind that franchise too. It's a new set of people. So yeah, it's a cool trope, and I would love a death scene, especially by Minnie. That would be awesome.
If you get in a death scene from that, you deserve an epic one. It's
yes,
I
agree.
I have you in, you're literally watching out for the other crew. I don't even know what that was. That a knife that you're holding, or was that the?
That was a screwdriver.
Screwdriver.
Was my weapon. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't remember. I haven't seen the movie since I watched it. Yeah. Well, I also want to bring up the trailer for Stream, which because I really want to hype up, because I really love more people to see it, because I really want to get that second one to happen. So I'm going to bring up the trailer for Stream, which actually has a cult following just like Terrifier, and has a lot of iconic horror names, and as not all of them are in the trailer, but a lot of people will see. So I'm bringing it up right now.
why don't we go away tomorrow? It would do the whole family some good.
Okay, let's do it.
Welcome to the Pines.
This place isn't half bad now, is it?
This inn is about spending quality time with the people that you love, because you never know just how limited that time is.
Showtime! Everything's locked up. Every door in this damn place is that way.
So we're trapped.
You and I need to figure out what the hell's going on.
Tonight, we are running a game.
Eliminated.
That each of you have unknowingly signed up for when checking in. Our game is a rather unusual one. Double kill. I would be remiss if I didn't welcome our 4 All-Stars. It is now a competition. Style points.
300.
More kills equals more points. Creativity counts. Games are as old as the world.
What are you talking about? A game? These are people's lives, for Christ's sake.
You have an audience. Blood on the ground means points on the board. Buckle up. Warm-ups are over, ladies and gents. Let's play ball! We hope you enjoy your stay here with us as much as we will. Happy hunting!
So that, for me, that was my preferred version of Hostel. I wasn't a big fan of the first Hostel. I actually liked the second one more, and I actually liked Stream. I thought Stream was a better version of Hostel for me, at least in my opinion. Because it had that murder for profit, you know, streaming the deaths,
Right.
you know, making money from it, but it was definitely more I felt it was more watchable than the first Hostel. And like it was gruesome, but it was also fun. It wasn't torture for the sake of torture. They made it fun.
They do a really good job with that, I think.
Yeah.
They use a lot of humor and it's levity and to kind of give it some helium, so it's not as to your point, like it's not just torture the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's just grotesque. It's like it's so 80s inspired that it's like the torture is palatable because it's so bright red and so like, you know, it's so over the top that you're not as like Hostel is a hard watch.
Well, even some of the kills in Stream, like the tic-tac-toe one, was my favorite.
That's a great one, yeah.
That was a fun one. That was like, that's fun. It's not just gruesome, it's fun. Because you're like these killers are evil, but it's entertaining at the same time. So, you know, it's one of the reasons the traps in Saw don't bother me. I mean, for me, Saw is more about the underlying message and the story and the characters. But, like, they're creative. They're not just torture for the sake of torture. You know what I mean? And there's meaning behind it. So, yeah.
Yeah. And Charlie's so good. He's such a cool, like, I love him in that movie. He's such a nice guy. And he plays I love the idea of, like, a final dad. It just,
That's another thing I love about it. He's a dad, but he's also like, and it's funny because like the final girl in that is not really the final girl. She basically skips out on half the. It's the final dad and it's father and son, if anything.
Yeah,
and daughter like this is all of it, and then I'm not going to say everything in case people didn't seen it, but like, I thought it was definitely like unique. For a new take on the torture for profit and like the whole conspiracy that it's global or it's It's widespread, and that's cool because that it's sort of like it's similar to like escape room, where you realize it's not just an isolated thing; it's happening all over the place. You know, and I know Darren Bousman, the director of Saw 2, 3, 4, and 9, originally when they wanted to do a Saw 8, one of his pitches he spoke about was similar to like cells opening up, like Fight Club opening up across the world where people, or the country where people were like, Jigsaw's message was being expanded upon by everyday people as opposed to apprentices. But they didn't end up doing that. But that was one of Darren's ideas for an 8th Saw film.
Good to know about. Didn't know that about Saw. A little trivia.
Yeah, I'm. Well, you know me. I'm the biggest Saw fan in the world. So, like you, I would love to see in a Saw fan. So, yeah, I would love to see you in a Saw film. Like, I have a lot of friends I would love to see in Saw. But also, you were in my friend's film. One of my friend's films. This event surrounding a Peeping Tom, which was one of the most unique, somewhat Lovecraftian horror films I've ever seen. I mean, I think it's Lovecraftian because the whole cultish element of it, and the whole fact that you're rooting for a bad person. You're like you're the bad a criminal or somebody who's like a Peeping Tom is the hero of the movie. And you're actually rooting for him to succeed in his, or not die, or not, you know. So it's just an interesting approach to a horror film. It's a very unlikely horror film. Just in general, like an unlikely story.
You know, I have to be honest with you. I haven't seen it yet. It's not available.
Okay, so all right.
I was at the film festival, and I was shooting that same day.
I forgot you told me this. I forgot.
Yeah, I read it, obviously, but I've heard nothing but good things about it, and heard it's stunning. Obviously, Damien Maffei is a mega talent. So
he's amazing.
it was very early in my own career when I shot that.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was like 5 years ago I shot
that long ago, really?
Yeah, it was like it was a while ago. And that one, I again haven't seen how it's cut together, but I didn't know, or I missed it somehow, that I was supposed to play baseball in it. I don't play baseball. I've never touched a bat in my life or baseball. So I'm shocked. I heard it came out fine, but I was like, oh God, they're going to have to really edit this to make it look like I can play baseball. Because, damn, we spent a lot of time trying to coach me to play baseball. And
let me know after you see it, because I want to talk to you about it. I want to hear what you think.
I would love to. I don't know when it's going to be widely available yet, or what the plan is. I know they had that one screening at the New York City Horror Film Festival.
Yeah, I was there. I was doing the photography.
That was it so far, right?
That's as far as I know. I don't know if it's shown anywhere else. I think they're planning, or at least if they have, I'm not sure. You could definitely ask. Maybe ask Hannah, ask Damien. Maybe they know. They probably know better.
I did talk to them about it. I think they're cooking something up, but it's like these things go. It's really challenging with independent films, because the challenge doesn't end when you wrap picture.
No, 100%. I know.
It's like, okay, now what do we do with it? Like, all of our money went into making it. That's just making it, and then there's post-production, right? That's a whole other cost.
Well, I'm an editor. I know how tedious post-production can be.
Exactly, and expensive if you don't know how to do it. And then it's like, wow, now what do we do? Like, how do we get this out there? So, accessibility. I mean, it's a whole other. There's so many brilliant films that just don't have a platform. That is a bummer, So I mean, I do think they're working on that, but I've heard it's beautiful. Everything you said. That it's unusual. It's tonally very different from.
It also looks like it was shot on film. It was like very film-esque.
Cool. Yeah, mean, I've heard it's amazing, so I can't wait to see it, and I'm excited for wherever. Hopefully, it finds a home very soon.
I hope so too. That definitely I will rewatch, as dark as it is. Just because I become closer with some of the cast and crew since. So just but like Damien's performance was like, I didn't even know him. I had just met him that night or that weekend, and I'm like, he's amazing. Like, he is phenomenal. Like, I was not surprised that he won the award for the movie. Like, he won the award for one of the awards that weekend. I do want to bring up. Oh, sorry. Just want to bring up another question for: is there one thing you have learned as a production assistant that helped you as an actor, or as a producer that helped you as an actor?
One thing that's helped me, I really respect being prepared, how much that can impact a shoot. We as actors are given so much grace compared to other crew members. If we drop a line, it's like people are so forgiving and kind about it, but God forbid the focus puller misses focus, and then it's like an issue. But I think that's what's helped me, because when you're doing take after take after take, and you get in sometimes in your head, is it me? Is it my performance? But it's a chorus of a lot of people working together that have to be on the right page, or on the same note at the exact same time for the shot to work, and that's hard. So I think being behind the lens and working with crew and understanding and listening to them talk, you really get that this is a medium that's very collaborative. It's not just about the actor. It's not, it's also about all these other moving parts. So that's probably what I learned. And like, as an actor, coming in as prepared as you can, so you can hit it, take after take after take with proficiency, and bring talent to it that helps everyone, because then you can choose different takes.
Yeah, and John actually has a follow-up question to that. He says, what is one thing you've learned that you would advise folks wanting to follow in your footsteps?
That's a really good question. I think the biggest thing that we've learned is that the industry is changing, and what we thought worked might not work anymore. And just be open and be willing to take opportunities that might not look like opportunities at first. And also, I think it's really important for people to make their own stuff now, and to collaborate with peers, find people that write or can, are interested in operating a camera. There's a lot of attention that's being paid to YouTubers and TikTokers and social media, people on social media. That's a very new thing still for an industry that's 100 years old, to be kind of paying attention to these grassroots forms of creating content. But look at A24, they just tapped, I can't remember the kid's name, but he's tapped to do Backrooms. He started as a YouTuber. He's 20 years old. He's never run a crew before or a set, but A24 is giving him the license to direct a feature film. You just never know. And I think just keeping it in mind, and be willing to be a workhorse and be creative and be an entrepreneur. You're a business owner as well as an actor at the same time. So you have to be constantly thinking about your business and how to grow. So I think that's my advice, as I'm also very new in the grand scheme of things.
Well,
so
that doesn't mean you can't give advice. Listen, there was also two things. First of all, about 10 years ago, maybe a little less, there was a older short film. Like I know you have your short horror film on YouTube, which we haven't discussed yet, which we will in a couple of minutes. I just want to mention, do you have more time for us? Like another, 15 minutes?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so there was a short horror film that got picked up by James Wan to make into a feature film. It's a feature-length film. It's called Lights Out. which was called
Yeah,
one of the
I've seen it.
scariest
Yeah.
short horror films on the internet. And all I know is I cannot watch the short film more than once because it scares the crap out of me. And the trailer for the movie, before I watched the movie, had me so terrified while I was sitting in a crowded lunchroom in college that I was in tears of fright, like just the way they shot it. So I love the film, and I watched the film several times. But like you make a short film on YouTube and it gets picked up and being bought by this one of the horror's biggest new masters of horror, and like you'd be surprised what like people never realize where their work is going to end up. And like you are very blessed. You know, not only do you get to work with these icons and in these horror films, you are working with a family of a crew and cast team. Like the Fuzz and the Lens guys, I've known them for years, and people who work with them say it's like one big family. That there are people there the next morning or the next day, even when they don't have, even when nobody has to be there just to help out on set. They're like one big family, and you're very blessed to be part of that family. I want you to never forget that. And
I never will. And I totally reiterate. Like I absolutely agree. And one of my favorite phrases that was told to me was, don't plan, just work. And I think what that means for me is it's hard to have a plan with this industry that's on shifting sands. You can have a 5-year plan if you want to, but you just don't know what it's going to look like in reality. So just take work, just keep working. Like you never know what an opportunity is going to lead to. I did an unpaid thing 5-6 years ago, randomly, that led to me basically doing Screamboat. So you really don't know who you're going to meet. And that's and I think also another piece of advice, small thing, but like be nice, be a nice person, and be easy to work with.
Be grateful and be grateful.
Yeah, be grateful. People like working with people they like, and it's just better for everyone if you're kind and easy to work with, I think.
And having good energy too, I'd say, on set or during working, you know. I did want to bring up, because I actually, when I was watching your short film this afternoon that you sent me, it's funny that you said you loved Midsommar so much, because that short film gave Midsommar vibes.
It's giving
Midsommar. Is it just me, or is did you really did that really impact that film and your role and even your look with the braided hair and the whole cultish element?
Mm-hmm. That was my idea, I will say. I'll claim that.
Really?
That look was my idea. Yeah, I was like, we should make it Midsommar. You know, it just lends itself so well. It's the short film Gabe's talking about, I did a few years ago. It did the film festival circuit. It's now on Film Short. It's called Beltane. Beltane's an Irish folk demon, essentially. So it lends itself well to that, like, daytime, you know, folk horror realm.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the film, she was essentially supposed to just be wearing her clothes that she had on, but I pitched it like, you know, we kind of are ending on this weird cult scene, so it'd be cool if she had the look to kind of go with that, like the bridal virgin
and the hair and the hairdo,
you know,
hairstyle,
and the hairdo, yeah, with the flowers. So, but it was, that was my one contribution to that.
Is Beltane the name of the demon? Is that the name of the demon?
It's the name of the demon, I believe. It's the name of the folk.
The folk demon.
Story. Yeah. The folk demon.
Is it? I assume it's a fertility demon.
It is a fertility demon. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Take it. Yeah. I'm actually gonna share the film on social media, get more people to watch it, because I want to promote. I learned in Hollywood, you got to promote your friends, and know who your friends are. And I'll tell you the truth, I was told that years ago. In Hollywood, you got to know your friends and know your promote your friends and know your friends are by some friends who are big actors in the industry. So, and I didn't think about it much until more recent years. So like every time my
thank
friends,
you.
like even if I can't necessarily, let's say there were times where I want to sponsor my friend's film or donate. Like even if I couldn't do it at the time, I still promoted to get other people to donate, or I would donate as soon as I can when I had the free funds. So you do what you can to promote your friends and it all comes back to you. It's like karma, and the good type of karma. That's one of and that's one of the reasons I do this podcast, is because not just for the sake of getting big names on here, but getting people on here who are up and comers or even somewhat new to the industry, who want to promote themselves and talk about their work, and it's networking. That's why I feel like social media for me, it is posting memes and making people laugh and getting my ideas out there and statements, but it's a form of networking, especially in some things like the film industry. Like I know there are a lot of big people in the film industry who are active on social media. Many of them I know, and I'm very grateful for that. That some of them know me, that I've known them outside of social media, some of them not, but they still know who I am, and it's all networking. And you got to remember to keep networking, no matter how much you work, no matter how little you work, no matter how much you work, no matter how big you are, always network. You never know what something could lead to.
So true. Yeah. It's easier said than done sometimes, but absolutely true.
Yes.
But yes, I appreciate you sharing that, because we love it's a very short film. It's like 15 minutes long. It's free to watch on YouTube, and it's a labor of love. And we're really proud of that film. So I appreciate you sharing it.
For sure. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that either tonight or tomorrow. I'd rather do it when people are actually online and not in the middle of the night. So I'm gonna probably do it tomorrow. Type up something for it. But listen, we're nearing the end. Can you tell everybody where to follow you on social media?
I just my name, so it's Allison with, I think my name might be showing up somehow. Yes, so right by my face. It's just my first and last name at Instagram. Yeah, that's just at Allison Pittel. Yeah. So that's where you find me. I'm not on anything else really, just Instagram. So that's the best. To follow me or see my stuff.
Great. And hopefully maybe once the Peeping Tom film comes out, or when more movies come out with Fuzz in the Lens, I could have you and some of the cast and crew on together if we're able to organize something, because I know everybody's schedule is very our other host says I'm just here for the memes. That used to be me. But I would love to have a cast and crew, an ensemble on, because I've done that with some films. I've had the cast and crew on my show. I would love to have you along with some more of the cast and crew on simultaneously. So we'll try to organize that, as difficult as that may be with everybody's schedules, but we'll see if we can make it happen.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, I would love that.
Okay, and I hope to see you in Stream 2 and Screamboat 2 when they happen. And I got my fingers crossed that they get you in Terrifier 4, because there's very little out about that. But I would love to see you in the Terrifier franchise, since 4 is supposed to be the last film. It would be great to see you involved in that franchise too. And I'm hoping, obviously, even if you couldn't say, but I'm hoping. And John Wayne says thank you for coming on the network, and much luck in the future. Sorry, stay away from Minnie. Well, it's not up to her. Sometimes Minnie's gonna track her down, so it's not up to. Yeah, it's like Jason, Anyway, it was good to see you, Allison. We'll be in touch.
Yes, thank you so much, Gabe. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful, and have a great night. Okay.
You too.
Take care.
Bye.
No page to get. Lucky self, we on the net. Pushing down, pop coke, to the scene flow. Rap, braid, and joke. Untrained, unscripted. Untrained, unscripted.